lot less. One of those critics is Hamilton NDP MPP Andrea Horwath, who is women's issues critic at Queen's Park. And Queen's Park is where we find Toronto Sun columnist Rachel Marsden. Rachel, do you think this government has abandoned the cause of women with these cuts?
Well, I can tell you I'm a woman and I'm doing okay. I'd really like to know what these status of women offices have done when you take away all the fluff and rhetoric and symbolism. What exactly do they do besides give out grants to women who, and this is the other thing I also notice, is that it's always the untalented, ugly women who are complaining about the fact that feminists need to do more and then there needs to be more done for women. Why don't you ever have people like Pamela Anderson or Margaret Thatcher or great successful women complaining about the fact that enough isn't being done by government for women?
Well, I have to say I don't consider myself in either one of those categories, and I'm very proud to be advocating on behalf of the need to keep programs in place for women, because the bottom line is in this country we still have a big problem with the inequity of women, and whether you want to kind of reduce it to an individual problem, the reality is women still make only 71 cents on every dollar that men make. Women still are far overrepresented in the ranks of the poor in our country, and in fact studies still continue to come out that indicate that women's health is not getting the same kind of resources as men's health. And those are just some of the smaller issues that if you might want to call them smaller issues, but I certainly consider them to be very important issues. And I think without a national strategy to deal with these inequities, women not only are going to be not able to maintain or get to an equality with the other major gender, even though we're 52% of the population in Canada, but in fact we will risk getting rolled back, especially if the agenda of the government is social conservatism, which is what I fear. And so then we're going to be facing down issues like loss of reproductive rights and other things that we've gained over the years, and I think that's absolutely unacceptable.
Well, where are the occupations that women don't have access? I see that there's mainly women who are elementary and preschool teachers.
If you look even in politics, the occupation that I'm in, you'll see women are significantly underrepresented. And in fact, even women, even in the occupation that you're in the media, women still feel that there are glass ceilings that they can't get beyond. And so there are problems that continue to exist in Canada.
Well, that's
and
nice.
As a nation,
that's news to me. I've never heard that, and maybe
well,
there are women in politics.
Not doing your reading.
Oh no! I'm living it. I work in the media, and apparently there's a glass ceiling that I can't break through. That's news to me. And I have one word in response to all of that: Oprah. Oprah Winfrey is the richest, most successful media figure in the USA. A black woman from a poor background. Apparently she didn't know about the glass ceiling either. So
Rachel,
I'm not sure.
You never fail to amaze me, to shock me with your analysis of every subject that we address.
No lack thereof. There's a lack of analysis, I think, Donna.
It surprises me that you would say, being in the media, that you would even argue that there isn't a glass ceiling. I have been in this business for 25 years and I have never worked for a woman. So tell me that there is equity, equality when it comes to upper management.
Well, maybe that's just the places you're working in. I've
worked
always worked for myself.
Well, there you go.
I've always worked for myself.
Freelancer. Have you ever worked for companies? Have you ever worked for a major corporation?
I choose to work the way I want to work, and I don't necessarily have to play by the rules. I don't know if that makes me a maverick or that makes me somebody who's a little more on the edge or what, but I choose to make a living the way I want to make a living, and I don't let anyone tell me how I have to do it and that I have to work my way up through a company and deal with anything like that.
It is because of women who are much older than you, who have been around for many, many years, who basically paved the way for you so that you can work, so that three women are sitting here on television having this discussion. Because 30 years ago, you would never have seen this scenario. So you have to admit that women and feminist movements and organizations like the Status of Women have done something to advance women's equal rights.
I think at one point feminism in that particular form decades ago served a purpose. Now it's just I don't know if there are enough oppressors that aren't around anymore or what, but it seems as though it's become a parody of itself.
You only need to read your newswire every day to notice that women are being killed in this country at the hands of their abusive partners. I mean, that's one of the big issues that hasn't even been able to be touched at all in terms of being able to get rid of that bane in society, which is women and abuse and violence against women.
Issue. That's
no,
a law
it is not a law
enforcement
enforcement
issue.
issue.
Yes,
It's a societal issue that says it's okay to be violent and abusive to a woman because of her gender.
Right,
and if you look at the statistics around partner abuse, you would be...
Sure.
Okay, let's one at a time, ladies.
Right.
Go ahead, Rachel.
Sure. People, okay. So people have to be educated because God only knows that violence towards women is totally acceptable nowadays. And we should have campaigns like like we've done with drinking and driving, and if you see somebody beating up a woman, don't just stand there and laugh, take away their keys. Is that the kind of thing that we're talking about here? Because last I checked, I don't know anyone in my particular circle, or maybe it's just the circles I travel in, who think that violence against women is okay. And I don't think we need the status of women or any other particular government-funded organization.
If you've got such a great analysis, why does it still happen, Rachel?
Why
are we still seeing women dying at the hands of abusive partners? Why are we still seeing violence against women as a constant problem in our society?
It's violence against human beings. Why are we segregating the population up into pieces of pie? Why are we dividing? Why is it necessary that feminists and the NDP are so keen on dividing society up into little tiny pieces of pie and squaring them off against one another?